Now, is this too much horsepower for this young man? Christy, everybody watching, there's a post that went viral. I posted it. It says, many saying this is a bad idea on the parents' behalf. It says, big congratulations to Mr. Ariano and his family on their stunning 2024 Ford Mustang Shelby Super Snake. This wasn't just any car, it was his son's dream car. His son has been tracking it, hoping to one day own it, only to be surprised by his dad on his birthday. Before the big reveal, he was behind the wheel of a Mustang GT 500 until, let me see, my bad, y'all, until his dream car pulled up. Moments like these are what make what we do so special, and we're honored to be part of a beautiful memory. And has the actual dealership, which I'm not going to give them no props here. But Chrissy, this thing kind of went viral all over the internet. I posted it.
Mhm.
You know, I'm going to be honest. I come from a long line of people buying cars for their kids, and man, they wreck them. I'm in West Texas. I ain't gonna lie, my daughter wrecked one. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't even like a fast vehicle, but it was a Mustang. And but anyways, the point is, what is this a bad idea, right? How much do you trust your kids? But before we go to that section of the video, Christy, give me the quick stats on the car he had previous was a Mustang GT 500 because someone said that's a beast. Give me those numbers and stats, and then we'll go to the stats on the Ford Mustang Shelby Super Snake. Go ahead with the
Okay,
GT
so
500.
hold on. I didn't have the G. Do you know what year the GT 500 was?
No, but let's just give it a 2020. You know, I would say that maybe just to be conservative. Maybe if that's even uh, a year it's out. I don't even know. I don't know nothing about these cars.
Okay,
I drive a
so
20. Christy, I drive a 2010. You know me. I'm a frugal baller. Go ahead.
well, there's so many different ones. So I don't know if he had if he had the Shelby GT 500 or if it was because whenever you pull up like a 2022 Ford Shelby GT 500, it's about $92,000, 760 horsepower, 7-speed automatic. But
That
then,
used to be a house, 90,000. Damn. Go ahead.
yeah, um, here's one like this one probably is more what he had. Here's one that's like 63,000 that is the GT 500. But whenever you start talking about the difference between it and the um,
Shelby Super
Super
Snake.
Snake,
Yeah.
yeah, whoa, it's
Okay.
a
Now
huge difference.
give me the stats on the Super Snake.
Okay, so the 2024 Shelby Super Snake, it's of course it's a 5.0 liter V8 engine, 830 horsepower, and a 3.0 liter Whipple supercharger. It has a Shelby suspension system, Shelby brakes, and Shelby performance tires. Um, it goes for $160,000.
Oh, that hurt. Whoa.
So the nicest one that I could find went for 159,995. So I rounded it up to 160,000. And I remember, I don't know if you would talk about this right now or not. I remember you saying, Christy, would you buy this for your son? And I was like,
Yes. Go ahead.
I've never had to grab my son one time. He goes to work, comes home, makes good grades. Like when I say I was blessed with an awesome son, I really truly was. I was like, absolutely. If I had the money to buy that for him, I would. But then after I did some research on the car, I was like, oh no, I wouldn't. Number one, why would I buy that for my son whenever I could set him up for success? $160,000, you know, putting that as a down payment on a home for your child or whatever to have, for the rest of their life or as a starter home or whatever, and buy them a cheap little car to go with it. But I don't trust that my son would race and do all that, but I don't know about my son's friends. And whenever you get around that peer pressure, would they be like, let me see what you got? And I mean, that fast of a car, it's not going to do anything but cause major damage if you're going at top speed. I mean, you're it's probably not going to be a livable situation.
And somebody said, "Why do we care? It's their business." I'm like, shoot, they're on the public roadway with my family and my kids, you know.
Exactly.
But okay, so would you buy your son this vehicle? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, no.
I changed my mind. No,
Okay,
I would not.
okay,
No.
okay. I'm gonna say this. He's 18 now, so he had the GT 500 probably around 16, 17, I guess, maybe even 15. I don't know what the age is to drive a vehicle. Maybe 16 for sure, but maybe he's a honest, young, reliable young person. But I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't give this to any of my sons, and they are not crazy whatsoever. You just never know, right? And like you said, your friends, peer pressure. I don't know. I just think it's a bad idea, to be honest. And people in the comments had something else to say. Kim Davis, shout out my subscriber on my Facebook page, says some kids are born 40. Perhaps he's an extremely low key, responsible kid who isn't interested in driving fast. Interesting choice of car. If so, this car was made to drive fast. Shout out Kim Davis,
Yeah.
subscriber on the Facebook. Someone else, Daniel has a different point of view. Kid is going to total that car before he's 20. Ouch.
Mhm.
There's a lot of good. Jesse Lopez says D dealer.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
My thing though is here's just my thing. I think a fool and I don't care how much money the parents have. That doesn't matter to me. I think
These comments are something that goes in. Sorry.
I don't I don't think that like the money matters, whatever the parents are worth. I think that like a fool and his money are soon parted.
Mm.
And I think that you could definitely, set your child up for success by making sure that they have a great college education, that they have a home, even if it's a starter home. There's so many more things that you could do because I can tell you if something happens to that child in that car, those parents will never forgive themselves. They're 830 horsepower. I mean, come on. That
I just see it's a disaster waiting to happen. But then maybe we're just too much of hovering parents. I don't know.
I am.
Lisa
Yeah.
says some more DEI didn't earn it. There's some I can't read on here. Shout out my boy Larry. I can't read his, but Dana says ignorance at its finest. Jennifer, another great patriot on my page, says good thing it cost me $0 to not worry about what those people are doing. Mia, God bless his sis right there, says I don't know. He looks like a little soy soaked. He looks a little soy soaked to handle that alpha car. And let me get probably the most liked comment on here. What is it? Laura says too much power. He'll be in
Yeah.
or hurt in a week. So I think for the most part,
The
everybody.
average,
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead. I was just going to say the average Corvette has a horsepower of 490.
This is double.
But goes all the way up to 1,064. So you are almost like, I mean, 490 to 830. I mean, you're talking about like a really powerful car.
Shout out Jacinto Dominguez, the brother out there in I think he's in, I don't want to say what city. It's in Texas. He said, I bought my son 3 different sports cars since he turned 18 and have just been educating him and reminding him how responsible he has to be because losing control is so easy. That's a good point.
Yep.
By the grace
Yep.
of God, I feel he takes heed, but to be honest, I prefer him in a pickup truck. Evan says, I was an idiot at 18. I would have wrecked at full throttle. It's his problem. He is 18. Please don't hit my family. We have all seen the infamous Mustang videos. So, let me see here. Let me read one more. There's a lot of good comments here. Hate to see the insurance bill. These kids, I work my ass off for my SCAP pack, and I don't act like an idiot in
Oh,
mine. I hope the 18-year-old
that's
is
my dream
responsible
car.
because that's too much power for a man child. His parents might just have signed away his life. That's Aubrey.
That's what I was saying.
A lot of
Yeah.
great comments, y'all. Y'all follow me on Facebook. I'm actually like really booming on Facebook. My page is just, it's a community over there. It's just, I really spend a lot of my time on Facebook posting all day. Interesting, topics, not just religion, not just politics, just culture. And this post had some good, comments on it and commentary. That's why we did a video on it. And again, let me know in the comments, y'all, what y'all would think. Would y'all buy your child a car like this? And to be honest, I think that's what it would boil down to. I live in West Texas, hella dangerous, first of all. Second of all, too easy to lose control. That is a big deal. So I would say a no-go for me to give my child a vehicle like this. Plus, that's too much damn money. I'm frugal. I wanted to buy my wife. We bought us a car. I don't want to say how much it was, but man, she wasn't. My wife wasn't trying to spend over 30, 40,000. But nowadays, you got to spend that much to get a decent vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
But we're
Yep.
frugal. I'm used to back in the days when you could buy a car for $1,500. I bought a Monte Carlo for
Exactly.
I bought a
Yep.
Monte Carlo for 1,500 back in the day, $1,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to those kind of prices. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for us to go spend 30, 40,000 on a car. And I know some guys that spend 100,000 on a car and they're sitting there broke, eating weenies, in the console because they can't really afford their payment. Let alone the insurance bill. Buying this for your child. It's a no go for me. Final word, sis. Go ahead.
No, I just think that, especially like with me living in Florida, that we have so many retired people on the roadways. Then you have all the tourists that come down. It's just not a smart idea like that I would never buy that for my son. But yeah, I agree with you. So I read something yesterday that the average price of used cars has gone up within the last 6 months, another 4.1%.
Whoa.
Buying used vehicles are even super expensive at this point. But I just think that's too much power for an 18-year-old kid, and that, he'll appreciate it a lot more when he has to work for it.
I'm going to read some of my main people here. Larry Solis, he says, first of all, that kid looks like a fruit. Second, that car has way too much torque for an unexperienced driver. He seems experienced, so I'm going to be honest. From what the other car he came up from, prediction he might unalive someone. That's Larry Solis. That's the brother right there. I know he's in Texas. Shout out Tina says, nope, unless he was making the car payment and the insurance payment on his own. That's too much car for an 18-year-old. Christine,
Yep.
shout out Christine, says too much car for an 18-year-old. Shout out Billy Wilson. Impossible to tell. He may be mature for his age and can be trusted to be careful. He might be a spoiled rich kid that will go nuts on the road. We will see. So there it is, y'all. 18-year-old young man with a Ford Mustang Shelby Super Snake. Sound like it's super fast too. So anyways, y'all, let me know what you think in
Yeah.
the comments. Thank you, Christy, for your analysis with me, my co-host, Christy Maga. And with that, y'all, we are out of here. Later.
Later.